Welcome, everyone. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for adjusting to my time. You guys know that I work on Baby Bunny's schedule. Thank you, guys. You guys don't even know how much I love the fact that you're here. You're supporting my members. Shrinking Sharon, I saw Bossy Unbothered here as well. Shout out to you, all my new freaking subs. Thank you, freaking subs. I love you. Pink Bolo is here as well. Who else? My members. Hey, Brianna, welcome back. Roll with Ty, love it. Memer, the lemur, I love it. Okay, shout out to the Facebook fam. Elizabeth, shout out to you. Thank you. I see the first Facebooker in here. Make sure as you guys are coming in, you hit that like button. You hit that like button because you already know how it is over here. It is tough to get in this algorithm, to keep this momentum going as we're talking about various topics here, right? Shout out to everybody. So I got my coffee, guys. I went to Starbucks for this one. I said, I'm gonna need a Starbucks as big as my head. Period. I'm gonna need it as big as my head because we're about to get into some shit. And I'm at this point where I'm like, hey Jane, welcome. Or I'm just like, hey Gumby, welcome. It is what it is. Caprice, welcome. Hey Caprice, my love. I accidentally deleted one of your comments, my love, and I saw it and I was really quick on the phone, so forgive me, Caprice, if your comment does not show. I just saw your name and I was like, I think I deleted her comment, and it just reminded me. Hey TD, welcome guys, welcome. Do the right thing. All right, while you're coming in, Gumby, especially my members, make sure you drop where you're coming from, what state, what country, what time zone, what you're drinking. Let me know, because I got this, what the hell did I order? But it's very heavy. It's called a blondie at this point. It's oat milk because I can't have regular dairy right now because of Baby Bunny and whatnot. But yeah, okay, UK. All right, we got some UK people. Welcome. We're gonna get into some stuff. I promise you. I definitely want to. We're gonna get into the Sun article because the Sun article is very important, and it deals with the Jared Leisek trial. The Sun, the U.S. Sun, actually reported today. And let me make sure I make this bigger. Whew. This is a pretty unfortunate situation. And why don't we start right here? Because they let us know, and shout out to Ikmel, who actually dropped it on his channel as well, but said that the illegal streaming Adventures with Purpose founder Jared Leisek update as a court rape case thrown after YouTubers illegally filmed hearing. So there you go. The YouTubers made it to the Sun, and we basically got bashed on the Sun. How do you like them apples, right? How does that feel at this point? It's kind of sad, but I mean, I feel so bad for Hero, number one, because can you imagine? She's waiting for this court hearing. She was waiting for this court hearing, and the anxiety buildup as a victim to, you're here for this court hearing, and then you have this YouTube shit that happens during the court hearing. You have somebody that unmutes and said, justice will be served, thinking that they're fucking funny. And then you have, it was just a clusterfuck, okay? So the Sun posted and said about these YouTubers. I really do feel bad. I really do at this point. Oh, you're drinking seltzer water? Welcome. The Sun. Good for them, though. Very bold of mainstream media. I mean, the Sun doesn't always get it right, but they try. And I mean, who am I to say? Because I don't always get it right either. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Okay. All right. And make sure you, like I said, drop where you're from, because I see some people from the UK, from North Carolina. Everybody's coming in. I know we're warming up. We're about to get into some stuff. And we're going to get into some stuff, right? But I wanted to bring this article first because I think that this is a learning lesson for all content creators here on YouTube, myself included, that we cannot fuck around with the justice system, okay? If you want to call yourself a true crime sector, then you need to know that your behavior is also fucking shit up for the victims that you're wanting to represent on your content, okay? And I know I'm cussing, but this did kind of make me mad to a certain degree seeing this. So Utah criminal rape case against Adventures with Purpose founder Jared Leisek has been abruptly canceled because YouTubers streamed the proceedings live, which is against Utah law. Go figure. The judge ordered an immediate stop to all of Wednesday's court appearances, including the one against Leisek, who was accused of sexually abusing a female relative in Utah in 1992 when she was between 9 and 10 years old, according to the court documents. The victim, who wished to remain anonymous, told the U.S. Sun that she's concerned if people continue to stream the case or if viewers click on the link, it will adversely impact her case and other cases on the docket. It was unfortunate that people could not conduct themselves in a proper manner during the court proceedings, which is what we all said. You have to be a fly on the wall when it comes to these things, right? It was not just because the case against Jared. There's so many other people there waiting for their own justice. Absolutely. Matter of fact, because I was watching it, you had a translator that were hearing other cases. I mean, there was other things that did not need to be live streamed, period. Well, it did need to be live streamed, period, right? Let's just put that out there. The case was pushed back to a later date. Right now, it is unclear if Wednesday's live stream will impact the case. The victim said she's waiting to hear back from the prosecutors. And I really hope that that is not the case. But in here, it goes into detail about the charges, and we've already reviewed those. I'm going to link the Sun article in the description box for those that want to review it in more detail. Okay. And then again, the Sun says that Jared Leisek blames Mormonism for his behaviors he says he was 12, but really he was 17. Okay. And it's so interesting to me. I'm going to say this too, because somebody was like, well, the victim is now blaming YouTubers when she came to YouTube. Okay. The victim in the case came to one YouTube channel. Mine. She's allowed to feel some type of way about the shit that happened on Wednesday. Shout out to her. She's allowed to be upset at people. She's allowed to call out people. And I hope that she does. Okay. And all we can do is be apologetic about it. Okay. You're not going to victim bash or victim blame because you fucked up during that live stream. And it's the same with me too. I can't do that for her. Okay. So we're not going to do that. I don't care if you're a Jared fan, stan, whatever. I don't care. I don't care if she came to my channel, my channel, okay, and then Jessica went to the other channels as well. She also came to mine. But we're not going to victim blame. The person named in the legal documents, in the court documents, is Hero. And she's the one that did not receive her court date on Wednesday, which should have happened. So miss me with that. And that's what I say, right? I'm letting you know. And this is when I pull my Cardi B. And I say,
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
what was the reason?
What was the reason for victim blaming in my chat? Don't do it again or you'll be blocked. Whew. Okay, so I wanted to address that. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, it's unfortunate. Hero, my apologies as well for anything that I might have done as well, because I also, and I addressed it before, completely apologize for that. I know my chat feels some type of way about it. My subscribers, my supporters, 100. Here we go, Mama Bear. She says a 100. We're supporters. We don't give a shit. I don't care if you're a Jared fan, stan. Period. Keep it real. Don't like it? Don't watch. Okay. Now we're really going to get into this whole Gerardo Zuniga, lead attorney, all this stuff that has happened and transpired in the last couple of, days, okay? It's been a lot. And shit, I have a lot of notes to kind of go through, right? You guys know I have contact with Gerardo. A lot of you guys know that. I've said it before. Yeah, I have contact. I've said, Gerardo, can you clear this? Or is there something that you can do here? I want to be very clear about something, okay? What I have right there, that's the police report. It's in Spanish. I want to be very clear about something and very transparent about something. It's okay that we have language barriers. That happens, right? I know what that's like. But language barriers isn't the excuse for contradictions in statements or information that you are providing to a story. Especially something as impactful as justice for Shanquella. Let me say that again. Language barriers should not be an excuse for the fact that there's contradictions to what has been said. I personally feel like that Gerardo's heart is in the right place, but his information may not always be 100%, and we have to take it as is and figure out what to do with it. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling in my heart. I slept on it. I heard everybody stream. Lead attorney, Sharrell's World during the lead attorney, Meek at Night, shout out to her, Sean Davy Way. Who else streamed did I hear? That was the Wiley Show on various streams. Language barrier doesn't take away from contradictions. And I'm going to give you guys an example. This is the police report. It's in Spanish. This police report was provided to me via WhatsApp. I don't have the official police report, and I highly doubt that unless Chronicle Speaks can provide an official document that was provided to her from Gerardo, from Los Cabos Police or something, then we're really working on what exactly? This is the police report that was provided to me via WhatsApp. And I don't doubt the information in this police report. The problem is that anybody can easily edit out information when there is no paper document to it. Absolutely agree. So when I heard a panelist go on Sharrell's World last night say, well, the police report was made up by Gerardo, you're going to have to show whether it's accurate or not before you run with some type of narrative of that. Gerardo provided us a lot of great information. I'm not kicking him, but I'm also not hugging his ass or coddling him because there's things that have not been answered, that have been publicly stated, and that need to be addressed, period, point blank. You can only tell me so much information before I really start to either doubt, misbelieve, and I will give you the benefit of the doubt, especially for a language barrier. But contradictions, you can't say that, oh, okay, it's a language barrier, therefore this is what it is. Let me give you guys an example. Here's a police report. I read it. In this police report, not one time does it mention about a maid. Let me show you something, okay? Not one time is there a mention of a maid. And again, this is the lead attorney. Listen to this short, okay? Just listen to it, because I think that it's an important short to understand.
Looking at her naked body on the floor. You can't say that she was found when the cops were there. This is what.
How did that end up in the police report? Like
this is what Gerardo is talking about. All the corruption. Okay. Right? The friends go back to the United States. The police officers go. The Dr. Carolina goes, and guess what? Oh, the maid found her.
Yeah,
the maid found her. How? Yeah, this is such a great point that you're bringing up. How is it that the police report says the maid found her when there were damn 13 people in the room?
How is it that the police report says that the maid found her when the police report that I was provided does not have a maid listed? This is what I'm talking about as far as inconsistencies in terms of the information. Do not make this about language barriers. I'm bilingual fluent. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm more than willing to bring back Gerardo to understand this piece that is lacking, because I think it's important. And the finger pointing is not going to stop, because people are in their right to say, why did you say this here and you're saying something different over there? Why? Why? Is your informant wrong? I would accept that. Is the informant wrong? Absolutely. Could be. But you cannot not address the issue. And I saw the interview, and shout out to the lead attorney, no shame, but you have to be able to address these little nuances. Otherwise, it's just going to keep going. You had Sharrell's World up late last night. And and I'm at this point where I'm like, now we're inciting people to contact Nancy Grace. We're inciting people to call Roland Martin, who has a YouTube channel, right? He's interviewed the family. We're inciting people to, like, what? Over what is being said here on YouTube. So I sat there and I said, well, what is this for exactly? Because it's losing its what it started with. Justice for Shanquella. This is about justice for Shanquella, or railroading a reporter that you don't agree or has inconsistencies to his information and story. What is this about? You tell me. Put it in the comments. What is this about? It's almost like, it's so crazy to me because, and this is specifically to the bigger bloggers, right? 200K. Bigger bloggers, bigger bloggers, right? That have the means and the resources to call Nancy Grace or to do X, Y, and Z. Great. Good for you. That's awesome. But what is inciting these things going to do exactly? Because if we can get somebody fucking like Nancy Grace, shouldn't we get her to voice this crime and amplify everybody's voice of this versus putting some light on a reporter that we're still trying to figure out, well, what information is accurate here? Or are we just going to be like, well, whose balls are bigger at this point? Is it your balls, my balls, her huevos, his huevos? Whose huevos are we talking about? Because that's what it's starting to look a little egoish to me. And I know that that's not what the family wants. They want answers. I'm pretty sure that that's what they want. So how do we drive this bus to where it needs to go and stop the bullshit? People are now, this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part to me. People are now trying to dox Gerardo. Well, he has a background in Mexico because they did a background check in Mexico or pulled some articles, him as a journalist, and he got charged. And is there a mugshot? I don't know. That's another one. Suddenly, we're international investigators / YouTubers in Mexico, right? Right. That's what we do. But not only, 3 or 4 days ago, we're concerned about Gerardo's background. What about Gerald's background? 3 or 4 days ago, people were pulling Gerald's background and saying, well, is he the right person to represent the family? Oh, so now we have an issue. Gerardo brought this information, wrong or right, hearsay or not. Now we have an issue with him. But 3 days ago, Gerald was the wrong person to talk about this issue because he has a background that includes, mind you, I think 2021 was the last charge. And that's not kicking the man because that's the man that the family chose to represent. I get it. But now it's like, who's better? What? I'm losing it here. I'm not understanding this. I'm not understanding. Help me understand how you can convict one person and say, well, that someone else is better. Not only that, I'm almost feeling like too, it's like, if you run with a story here, right, whether it's Gerardo or something else, it's feeling a little bit like, unless somebody broke it, the other person can't be right. Unless somebody said it this way, the other person can't be right. If you have charges of X, Y, and Z in your background, you are damn if you do it, and you can't be doing this shit. Oh, and by the way, I'm Mexican too, so I better be careful what I say. Because after last night in Sharrell's World's Live, she says, how are we going to listen to a Mexican reporter? A Mexican reporter that, what's wrong? Is there something wrong with being Mexican? Is it because he's a reporter? Is it because he provided maybe not the most accurate information, which is what it is? I honestly, and I'm the one who's communicated with him. inciting and saying, well, I'm going to have to look at those bloggers' background who brought Gerardo here. Hello, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm trying to figure out how we can address the issues at hand. I'm not saying that this man has not provided misinformation. You know, there's some inconsistencies here. I don't care what Tisa Tell says, how she broke it down. I don't give a shit. That's something that I've told Gerardo. I said, Gerardo, you got to fix this. Here's what you said. Was your information wrong? I've said it before. There's nothing wrong with stating that. It doesn't make them wrong or right. It makes the information inconsistent. And I know for a fact that that's not what he wants. Explaining to me what the Mexican legal process is for a court hearing, we're going to go back and forth because there's going to be half of the people that don't necessarily understand it or will entertain it, or there's going to be half of the people that will understand it and say, well, that's wrong. It's not applicable. There's no point. There's no point. The police report doesn't mention a maid, lead attorney. We need to figure that out. We need to ask Gerardo directly to fix that, to figure that out, or at least let the people know so that the finger pointing stops. That's one. I think it was great that bigger bloggers can bring him on because I don't have 200K, right? I did not have 9,000 people in my chat. But in order to amplify voice of what is being said and what needs to be understood, I think it's great that he was brought back. But there's still areas that need to be cleared, and there's a lot of information that is inconsistent, and we need to figure it out. The Pascal show this morning, he brought somebody from the FBI. Let me see if I can show you guys. That, to me, was a smart thing to do. Somebody independent who has probably been in the process of extradition or understands these laws a lot better than a lot of these YouTubers like myself do not. And even in this interview, there was no clarity to whether we believe or don't believe or anything like that. But that was a smart move to make, because here you have a retired professional in that career speaking on detainment and whether or not, and you guys can make up your mind however you see fit. And that's how I see the situation at this point. That's how I see it. And that's what lead attorney said as well. You can land you wherever the hell you want to do with it. But whatever resources we bring forward have to be helpful and informative and not speculative. In addition to that, I want to talk about the comment that was made. Well, Gerardo is fake. He wrote the police report. That's what somebody said on that panel. In addition to the comments that said, well, somebody needs to call Cardi B because she's Mexican. Cardi B's not Mexican, but hey, somebody called Cardi B. But let's talk about what somebody said about the police report being fake. I would love to have a paper document of that police report. I don't have it, so I can't speak on it, right? But there was something in, not the police report, this report right here, something that was said that stood out to me from the media release. Okay? And let me see if I can remove this real quick. This media release, let me put this comment down real quick. And something to note, okay? This is in Spanish. I get it. A lot of people don't read Spanish. But at the very last paragraph, okay, the very last paragraph, it says something very important. And this document, believe it or not, is independent of Gerardo, is independent of any blogger, is coming straight from the State Department of Baja California Sur, okay? This is from that State Department. And it's basically saying down there that says, the last paragraph says that if there is an open investigation for what may result in the participation and cover-up or an omission, it is believed that her harm could have been avoided to her had people acted in the way in which they needed to act. They're looking at a cover-up. The parties listed in this police report are indicative of there having been a cover-up as well. So unless you can tell me that Gerardo wrote all of this, I don't know if he edited certain parts out, but unless you can tell me that this media release independent of this police report and Gerardo is wrong in the last paragraph, then you just fucking made a huge conspiracy theory. In addition to making mugshots of Dejanay, in addition to people saying that she ran away to Texas, in addition to people saying she's arrested if that's the case or not, in addition to people saying that the parents are suing Mexico and we have no fucking clue that's the case. What other theories have we come up with? What other lies and speculations have been made up? And we don't even know, we don't even have any receipts for them. Help me understand what else is there out there. Put it in the chat. All of a sudden, we're all attorneys. We all understand international law. Even the lead attorney, we're all attorneys. We all understand this shit. But I do know this. There's some inconsistencies to what the reporter has said here with us. And that's something that we do need to clarify, period. But it's real. Fake mugshots. Now we're interviewing cousins of Shanquella because, you know, the cousin said it was a huge conspiracy theory, period. Right, mama? I'd like to know. Which one is it? Which one is it? Right. So who do we listen to? What do we do? It's a little too much for me that at this point I'm like, I need to focus on justice for Shanquella. You guys can bring Nancy Grace, tag her up. For what exactly? I don't know. I don't know why. Instead of having a sit down and honest conversation about these inconsistencies and how do we get better about what to report. Maybe there's additional questions. Maybe the informants were wrong. I don't know. And why I'm so invested, because I like to bring justice to Shanquella, justice to causes. I've been doing true crime content. Justice for Shanquella falls under that. And the more people that we can get that are invested in this, great. But it's becoming a bit of a shit show. Okay? And I'm not the only content creator that feels this way. And I think it's important to call it out. And I'm the one who's had contact with Gerardo. And no shade to him, but I've said it before. Like, this is starting to feel like your contact said this, but here we are here. We need to clear this. Something's not right because there's inconsistencies here. And like I said, people have chopped it up to a language barrier. I'm bilingual and fluent. A language barrier does not equate contradictions. We can clear those. And we should clear them. But it's becoming a bit of a circus. And it's so funny to me because it's like, even those that say, well, this is a circus, and they're bigger in subscriber number, are also not sitting down and seeing, how am I contributing to the circus as well? Myself included. I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to come up and have some words to say, this is my opinion. These are my thoughts. We live in a, yeah, you're at, that's another thing too. You can't prove it and shut your mouth until you can. This is, no, I hear it. It's not a joke, but I digress. Do your thing, Rab Snake. Link is there if anybody wants to come up and sound off, because I'm telling you guys, I sat there and I said, wait a minute. So now it's like, it's becoming whose huevos are bigger than the other person's at this point. I know Sean Davy Way's heart is in the right place. Meek at Night's heart is in the right place. I think our hearts are in the right place. We just are going in circles in this hamster wheel, or we're trying to figure out information. And so what the fuck do? We attack each other, right? And then we start bringing in things like, well, this Mexican reporter can't do this. We don't know. So then somebody pulls background on this Mexican reporter. Well, then let's talk about Gerald's background, because I didn't talk about it, even though people were pushing me to address it. I didn't talk about it. But how does his background equate to something that needs to be, he can't be addressing this, or he's this? What? Yeah, can we stop? I mean, I'm so surprised by that. But then again, I'm like, well, fuck, like everybody has a different agenda. I'm not gonna lie, like if you want to attack the man, go ahead. But don't attack a race or group of people. Or even there was a one specific blogger who was attacking Day of the Dead, El Día de los Muertos. And in that, it was very offensive to me as well. But what the fuck why am I not surprised? When people say racial slurs every fucking day about whether it's a Mexican or this person, I am not surprised. I'm just very passionate. I just need a moment. I'm here. Hey, Infamous, let me put you up. Hold on one second. Okay. Excuse me. Hold up. Hey, how are you? Your sound is a little off. Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me now? Is it okay?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I just think that it's crazy how this community it's just like flipped upside down, and it's just so ridiculous that, you know what I mean, that people just attack each other, and nobody's thinking about these families. It's like either exploiting these cases for monetary gain, or, you know, just accept, you know, and so on and so on. And then, you know, attacking each other, and nobody's being mindful and self-reflecting, saying, hey, what about the mom and the dad and the family that's lost this loved one? You know, we understand that we want information, and, you know, but we all want that instant gratification. And then, you know, you have to vet the information correctly. You know what I mean? You can't just run with stuff just because he said or she said. You have to do your own research. But I just think that it's really sad, and it's disappointing, and it's just, I don't know, I just shake my head at it.
Right. No, I mean, and it just gets worse. I think it's just so crazy. I think our heart is in the right place, you know, and everybody's so passionate, but it's just,
yeah, I mean, you're gonna have friction, you know, I mean, here and there, whatever, you're gonna have a little bit, you know, not everybody's gonna see eye to eye, but I think it's just people just being more mindful, of the families, because you know, you can't tell me that there's not somebody in the family that's watching these channels just hoping that maybe, you know, in hopes that maybe something positive will come out, you know, from this, but then all they see is all this fighting and you know, going at each other's throats, and it just puts a bad taste in. And if it were me, and if I was a parent and lost a loved one, I would put a bad taste in my mouth about YouTubers, you know?
Yeah, you're right. It's so crazy because it's like, you know, Gerardo needs to clear up some stuff. And I'm like, yeah, he does, right? He does, period. And and I've said that to him. I said, this needs to be cleared up. But he's not necessarily on trial here. Neither is Gerald, who, everybody was so quick to pull backgrounds on and try to drag. And like Sean says, not the Latin community is not on trial here. If you got an issue with one specific one, yeah, but it's just becoming very like,
it's lost, everything's getting lost in translation, like, and it's
yes,
not
it is.
translating very well, but
Yeah,
it's just sad. It's just really sad. It's just like I appreciate like how the way you carry yourself and the way you conduct yourself, like you have boundary, and you draw the lines in the sand, and some people just don't have. And I don't want to judge, and I'm not trying to point fingers, but just certain individuals, like we need to take a step back and we need to, like reevaluate the situations, because people get, I'm not saying it's all just for greed and stuff, like you said, that people's hearts are.
Oh no, she dropped. Oh, there you are. Okay.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Say that again.
I said we all need to make sure that we step back and just take a step back and reevaluate the situation. We're gonna have friction. We're gonna have people. People are not gonna see eye to eye, but we need to take a step back and take a breather and try not to get wound up in it like we do. Like, and then doxing, trying to get all this information and trying to put out people's private information on the, that's not our job. That's not, and it could hinder the cases. It could hinder many of these cases that have to do with anything, missing children, anything, because you're putting information out there, and if it gets out there to the point to where it contain a jury, or it can make a defense. If somebody's guilty and they're trying to, the defense is saying, hey, we can't, it's not submissible or whatever, we can't just strike it from the record because it's been out there in the YouTube streets or on social media.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, I was thinking about, it's so crazy. It's just like, well, you're not going to, just the way in which the arguments are formed. And at the end of the day, we just all have misinformation about a lot of things, and we could just do a better job at it instead of going. So I'm like, oh my God, like,
right. And then try not to be quick to go jump on another. Well, I heard, and that's why I said, like, the he said, she said stuff. We have to get the information. We have to vet that information.
yes.
Like that I think just society in general, just all together, like well, where'd you hear that? Well, he said or she said. Well, they're not notarized. Who are they notarized by? Like, we have to make sure that we have to do our own. The only thing we can control is our own actions. We can only control ourselves. We can't control anybody else. If we do it in a collective, then you can get more positive, productive things out of it versus all this hoopla.
Right. No, I agree.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump down. I just wanted to. I was like, oh, I gotta go there. You're welcome, and thank you for just carrying yourself with, just having ethics and morals and all that stuff. I mean, I respect it 100%.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and everybody else is watching. But thank you so much.
Take care.
Yep. And I put the link if anybody else wants to sound off or come up. Feel free to come up. It's a lot, It, like I said, I get emotional because it's like, I know that a lot of us are in the right place and we're doing the right thing for the right thing. But after a while, it's like, like, again, like, I get it. I get it. I'm not excusing the behavior. I was happy that Gerardo went up there with the lead again, but at the same time, I'm not happy at the fact that these little nuances, these little things that a lot of us are stuck with, especially those that are invested in finding justice for Shanquella, we just want some information and we want to make sure that we put things right. And that's why I stand conflicted to whether I like this person or don't like this person. I can't even make up my mind. But then there's this mob mentality of inciting people, tag this, tag Nancy Grace, bring this person, Ben Crump. I'm just sitting there like, well, damn, like, okay. And in the meantime, I think there was an article that somebody pointed out who said, you know what? The mom is still waiting for answers from the FBI. Oh my God, Kitty, thank you so much for this suit. Oh my God, let me get off camera real quick. This, oh my gosh, girl. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh my God. Thank you so much for that. This is just, I'm just letting you guys know how passionate I think a lot of us are. Thank you, Kitty. You're very generous. All the super chats and super stickers that I get, but thank you, Kitty, for that. This is so generous of you. I think we're all just very passionate, and I think that that's important to know. And I'm just saying, like, how can we do better? And I want to know from you guys as my subs. I got 420 people here, and please hit the like button as well while you're in here, because it helps me in the algorithm as well. I want to know if we were to bring, and I talk to, people that, they're in the chat as well, that I love and respect. If I talk to Gerardo and we are to clear these inconsistencies, because you can delete videos, you can remove them, but the shit is still out there. People are going to put them together and find out, like, what is this right here? If we're able to bring them on and ask about these inconsistencies in terms of the information, would you guys still be willing to talk about him or talk to him about it? I'd like to know how we can correct this information. How do we correct it so that we can understand it? Or if you feel like, I'm done, I don't want to hear it, and that's fine too. But I don't want to bring him on again without feeling like I couldn't bring him on without this big elephant in the room. You know how when there's like some shit that you're like, I need to address this. It feels weird that this shit is hanging up here and we're going to pretend like nothing was said. I don't know. Can you guys let me know in the chat how you feel about that? Let me know if you guys would be okay. Or if anybody wants to come up and hit the link, let me know. You would want to hear him. Felony says, I would want to hear him. Okay. Thank you so much, Kitty, again. I appreciate you. And I'll make sure I can do some huge rabbit twerking for you. It needs clarification. I had put a poll, which I think I have like 278 votes that basically says 40% says that yes, the information has been cleared in, and 60% says no. And I think that that's warranted. Before I bring them back up, we need to clear this information. Lead attorney, if you can't, come on, lead attorney. You're a retired attorney, but you're the lead fucking attorney. I'm the lead rabbit here, okay? We cannot ignore this shit. We can't, because people are going to keep coming back and saying. And I think that people deserve those answers too. And I would say, y se lo diré a Gerardo también, la gente necesita las respuestas porque esto no coincide con la historia. Y tenemos que aclarar esto para que Gerardo también no tenga esa reputación que se le está dando ahorita. We need to figure it out. Thank you, Nat Staley. Thank you. Thank you. It's warranted. It's warranted. And if he's hearing me, he needs to hear it, right? And then you guys can decide, well, yeah, I'm going to write him off, bring him up. Okay, I'll talk to him. But we have to clear this. We have to clear this. And if people believe him or not, that's fine. Lead attorney said yesterday. Pascal said yes today, this morning. He's like, some people are on the fence. Some people are going to stay on the fence. It is completely up to you, but we still don't have the answers that we want to see. And people need to know the answers. I get it. I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. That's what I'm going to say. But I know we're passionate and our heart is in the right place. And that way we can, if we can't clear it up, we can stop some of these distractions so that we can move forward to this, because it's becoming a bit of a circus at this point. Right? That's all. That's all I'm saying. You still don't think he did it intentionally. Why would he ruin his own reputation? I'm not sure. And that's the other thing too. People said it's a language barrier. Well, it's more than one contradiction. This is why it's important. Just call this shit out for what it is. Okay, did your informant give you wrong information? That can happen. This shit happens all the time. It does. Mr. Zuniga can easily be proven wrong, so why would he risk it if he is wrong? He was given wrong information. He depends on his sources too. Just my 2 cents. Michelle, that's a good point too. That's a good point too. As you can see, guys, I have been thinking about this over and over. A lot has been kind of weighing on me because of it. And then I've been watching the different lives and I'm like, yo, but I get it. Everybody deserves to know the truth too. Everybody deserves more explanation, even if there's a redaction to it. We need to know it. Of course, he may have police testimony, and that is outside the report. But honestly, without Spanish, we can't validate translation. It may be the translations matter. It is also a protection. Gotcha. I think you need that as well for your peace of mind. Other YouTubers attacking when they haven't done half of the real work you have. But everybody has done some level of work. Everybody. And I don't want to down that. I feel like we're working extra to confirm information that we don't even know is valid. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Wiley.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
How are you?
Good afternoon.
Oh my gosh, the Wiley. You guys make sure you shout out Wiley. Check out Wiley. Shout out to you, Wiley.
You know, listening to you, because I believe you're bilingual, correct? You speak.
Yes.
And
I'm fluent.
You're very fluent in it. I personally believe that if you're an investigative journalist, baby, sources should be your number one, things should be top notch. You should have more than one source and then double check that source before you put something out. Unfortunately, this reporter got it wrong. He got it wrong. This is reminding me of when Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked said the queen have died and she wasn't dead. You understand what I'm saying? And I believe he got it wrong. And it messes up a lot of other YouTubers' credibility that Chronicle Speaks and others, because when you put out and then they run with the story, it makes them look not credible. Like, oh my gosh, the Chronicles said the man is arrested. He have not been arrested. The people that I follow is Roland Martin, which is a journalist, been a journalist for over 30 years. And I really watch him because he get the facts. And I asked him, I said, has she been arrested? And he said, no, that's have not happened. It's a warrant out, which is correct. And media outlets are reporting that, but she have not physically been arrested yet. And that's what I asked him. I said, is it right? But then you have other platforms that, are rewriting it. Like Black Enterprise is another, should be a credible source. But I saw that. Yeah, they did a rewrite of what the YouTubers are talking about. So again, have she been arrested or have not? I believe that if she would have been arrested, at least it would have been some mainstream media coverage other than that article that was sent to YouTube. I don't know if you've seen the article. When it had it on there, it was the one in Spanish, yes, and it was one in English. And it went, and that just really went viral. We were the ones, YouTube, because it wasn't just Black, because you're not African American. It was the power of the new media that drove this Shanquella Robinson story. So now I just think that we just need to be patient to get more details before we rush, and just saying whatever until we get some facts, until we can go on the website and see that she's been arrested, some type of facts that we can run to audience, because we didn't see no mugshot. A shout out to the other lady that's on TikTok. It's some type of website that show you if a person been transferred from the United States to Mexico, and they updated on the website, and they have not been updated at all. So I just think that we just have to have patience. And there's a lot of YouTubers have gained a lot of support with their audience with this story. And I don't want us to we did a good job getting her name out there just for Shanquella Robinson. I don't want us to just making it to a shit show. We just gonna say whatever. She been arrested.
Let me ask you a question, Wiley, and I'm so glad. Thank you for hitting the link. Okay. And I think this is because I really feel like you're gonna give some insight to this. Okay. A lot of emotions are high. All right. Mm-hmm. If we were to bring on Gerardo again, right, and address these specific inconsistencies that have been said, whether it's the lead attorney or some other channel or whatever that may be, and address them as they need to address. Do you feel like that could be like figured out? Like, and not to say that finally, everybody can trust them, because clearly you only get so many times on YouTube to do shit right.
Absolutely.
But what are your thoughts about that?
I think that would be great. I don't think nobody should be judged for it, but I look at this investigative journalist. I don't see him on CNN or MSNBC. And usually, when I looked at what's going on in Ukraine, they actually have reporters there talking. I don't see
like
him
affiliates.
Yeah, like affiliate. I don't see him talking like what's going on in Mexico. I haven't seen it at all. So we don't even know if this is really a journalist with a rep that work with a a good newspaper. He could just be a freelance reporter. Just because somebody said they're an investigative journalist, what do you work? Do you work for this newspaper? Do you work for this organization, or are you independent freelance like we are? And if that's the case, we might as well call ourselves investigative journalists. So that have not been fact checked, to be honest. Because I haven't seen that man on no mainstream outlet at all, not even the Espanol, those stations. I haven't seen him on there either.
So to be fair, he has sent me a resume, and not to say that the resume is accurate, because everybody can lie on the internet. But I think it goes to show a little bit of like, how much credibility do we give somebody? Wiley, what was it, a week ago, you had ABC7 reported that she had been arrested. That's a reputable source. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's like, well, what the fuck? Who do you fall back on, or what do you do?
Okay, and if they said it, well, maybe I guess they keep it in the secret. I don't know, because the sites that I told you, like I watch Roland Martin, and I watch CNN, but mainly Roland Martin because he give us that Black perspective. So I'm seeing it, and then also I was looking at the family social media. They haven't said that she have been arrested, and then you got the North Carolina beat, and you got him, and he even dragging the vloggers. He said that she have not been arrested, and he's supposed to have the connection with the family because he had the father on the show, and he said she have not been arrested. He kind of got dragged because people said, have she been arrested or have she not been arrested? So I guess now he said she have not been arrested. So it's just a lot of inconsistencies that we just definitely need to truth. Is A, she's arrested, or B, she's not? It's just it's a simple question. I know when I call the FBI number, they didn't give out no information. So what more digging can we do? They're not gonna give us the information, because I just want to know have that been the case. And then I saw from Storm Monroe, he put out, he could be doing this for clickbait. He put out that she's hiding in Fort Worth, Texas. And I live in Texas. And I'm like, where did that come from?
I was like, Wiley, go pick her up right now.
Right. I'm like, if she's in Fort Worth, like I'm up there calling like different newspapers and say it hasn't been nothing. I haven't gotten no response back. Like, is she in Fort Worth? Like, is somebody looking for her? Like, I don't understand it. And I guess, because a lot of YouTubers, period, get addicted to the clicks and views. And I think he just did that for clickbait, to get some clicks and views, because that was so. And then the reporter says she was picked up in Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken. And then you got Storm out here that have 200,000 followers. He told his audience she's on the run. She's in Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth.
She's a fucking Carmen Sandiego at this point. Like, what? but that's the thing, Wiley. Let me ask you another question. And so now they're pulling Gerardo's background. They pulled Gerald's background. They've pulled your background too, talking about destroying it. And you openly talked about your own background. But is that like the shit that we do when we want to expose people? Let's put everybody's background on Front Street.
I think that is wrong, because they were pulling out, the founder and CEO of the North Carolina beat of him being arrested. There's nothing wrong with your hit. That's your past. You know what I'm saying? He changed it up. He have a site, and I just talked about one of his stories where a pastor was arrested in North Carolina for fumbling with a 15-year-old boy. So I'm not trying to discredit him, because he have been doing a great work so far. I didn't like it that he sent Conscious TV a demand letter to take down his content, and YouTube took the side of Conscious and not.
I saw that too.
You
that
know
was pretty fucked up. Listen, I'm in the bushes when it comes to conscious TV, but I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard it last night that he talked about it.
Yeah, he talked about it. And so that's why I'm very careful of playing people content because, you know, some people be petty and want to send a demand letter. And I'm glad that YouTube had Conscious TV back and said, no, this is fair use. And he wrote a whole thing talking about this is monetary gain. And I'm like, I don't want to do that because that send people to your website. But I see that they're trying to post his mugshot saying this person, we shouldn't be listening to this person because he was thrown in jail. I don't care if the man been thrown in jail. If he served his debt to society, he could be he's redeemed. He's doing something great. And I love the fact that he have a site and we mainly got a lot of our information from his outlet. You know, the pictures mainly came from his outlet that I first saw from all of the Wiggins, from all of the women that was in that Airbnb. We got it from his site. So he was doing the work, I think, before the YouTubers took on to it. He already was covering, and then we came a little late. But when we took over, because collectively we have a massive reach, it just instantly went viral. Twitter was talking, and then YouTube, and it just went from there. It was like a snowball effect.
How do you, in my last question, and thank you again for clicking the link, but then we're bringing this thing about race. How do you land about, you know, well, this Mexican, you know, not to say that's, because it's not the race that's in trial. You know what I'm saying? It's
Absolutely.
like, I don't know.
I think that we bring race in it because this was an African-American woman in a foreign country. So race is a part of it. But I don't like when people trying to paint Mexico into being just this corrupt country, like America don't have corruption, right? And sometimes we point our fingers, and most of the people that will point fingers at Mexico justice system or country have never been over there and lived over there. In my experience, by watching a lot of YouTube channels, I've watched a lot of people that actually left America that was African American and actually moved to Mexico, and they're enjoying, they're having a great experience. So I just see a lot of people just saying a whole bunch of things, just trash in Mexico. If Mexico was so bad, they wouldn't have $1 billion tourism, yearly income. But it's corruption in every country, right? Even in America, right? So I don't want us to get so high and mighty like it's no corruption in America. You silently mistaken if you don't believe there's no corruption. Just look at let's look at President Trump. That's Exhibit A. But my prayer is I'm glad that you are a part of this because you speak another language. And what I've learned from this experience is that, oh my gosh, I need to learn Spanish because it may be a story where the language, the way it happened, it may be in Espanol. So you want to learn that. So that's one thing I like about the lead attorney. I was like, oh, that's a good look when you can, if he's translated right. So I don't speak Spanish. I don't know. Because he could be withholding some words what the man said, but he looks like he know what he's translating for, and you can fact check it because you speak the language. Translated what the report is saying, but what it taught me, I said I need to learn me some Espanol because if I have a story, I don't want to have to pay a translator. I want to be able to understand and communicate, blah 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 blah. Because that's a good look for your platform. So that's one thing that I've learned from this entire situation, and I learned also don't call everybody your friend. Okay, I mean you just cannot call everybody. And I'm questioning my inner circle. I'm like, oh gosh, because this is a teacher. It's so many lessons that we can learn from this. And I should say, before I go and do a meet and greet in a foreign country, let me get to know y'all in the States first before we fly to another country to really get to know each other. Because I said, man, you can't call everybody your friend. And my grandmother used to say, stop saying that person's your friend. You ain't got no friends. Jesus is your friend. And I'm like, maybe my grandmother was right. Like, you got to be careful because this woman went to a country with people that she thought was her friends. And it's just really so sad. So I just hope she get justice. But it's going to be another response. Like if she ever get arrested and go to Mexico, she's going to play the sympathy card. I'm a Black woman. I'm in this foreign country. I need, she ain't getting a justice. They ain't treat her right. So it's like, you're going to see that's going to play out whenever she do get arrested. And so, because she ain't going to understand the language. I know her people ain't got the money to pay for the lawyers and all. That's a lot of money to get whatever the legal defense fund over there. And I heard their justice system is different than ours. So we're going to see how this is going to play out. It's really really sad.
Yeah. It's a lot, but thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming up, and
thank you.
Everybody else that has shown support. I didn't know you were in my bushes listening. Look at that.
No, I saw it on my timeline, and I said, let me come through and see what was this at. And I watched a couple of your videos, and I don't always drop down because when I watch yours, I'm either seeing what's going on Twitter, watching somebody OnlyFans. You know, I do a lot of that in the morning. I got to see OnlyFans. Seeing who's on rentman.com, see if I have to rent.
Do you have an OnlyFans, Wiley?
I don't have OnlyFans, but I'm on Storm Roll OnlyFans. I'm on a whole lot of other people OnlyFans. I may get one, but right now I just like to see other people just sell themselves on the OnlyFans. It's quite entertaining, and you can go live on the OnlyFans. So I'll be throwing little fads, and I'll like shake it, dip it in the chocolate.
Listen, no, I've been watching your IGs. You're doing that Britney Spears movement. I don't know if anybody in the chat, guys. Wiley is doing the Britney Spears. He's literally twirling and dancing. He's got the camera, and he's like,
So I did that because my people is addicted to my nieces. I went home to Chicago. They addicted to the TikTok. So it got me addicted. So right now I'm looking, I gotta do the it's another challenge, the yam challenge. So it's a lot. I'm just addicted to the TikTok. And I know I'm not on beat, but it's okay. I'm black and I ain't on beat. So all black people don't be on beat. So don't have no rhythm. But I'm gonna take some dance classes, and and it's gonna help me in the weight, the weight thing, and to get my weight down. So I'm excited. I love it.
Do what you gotta do, though.
I'm glad you see that.
No, I did. I even commented, said, "Now, Wiley, you're taking up after Britney Spears." I did say that. But shout out to you. Thank you for coming up and giving your perspective, because I'm telling you, man, and at least you and some other bloggers. I have a lot of people in here, so shout out to you guys as well for coming and showing support. But I think I know where direction wise what to do next at this point.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You guys make sure you check out Wiley and his channel. He talks about a little bit of everything. Let me see. I gotta shout out a couple people that just super chatted me and I miss. Ultra Dark CEO super chatted 999 twice. Thank you. And then you just super chatted again. Thank you so much. Alejandra, thank you so much for your super chat. Everybody super chat, it's a lot. Kitty, if you want me to contact you, make sure you I don't know your email, but hit me up. I do have an email. It's in the description box. Right, Mama, we gotta head out because this baby bunny's like, I'm done, But let me go ahead and play some. You have something to say? She's got something to say. Give me 1 sec, guys. Baby bunny has something to say. She just woke up. Are you mad? Auntie, thank you so much for coming in and showing love. Sean Davy Way, The Plain is Jane. Come get this commentary. Danny Robertson, The Wiley Show. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Let me do some rabbit twerking for everybody, especially for these super chats and the members. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys, everybody that came in and showed love and support. Auntie's advice was in here as well. Thank you, Auntie. But yeah, thank you for coming in. I'm gonna contact Gerardo and see what we can do about clarifying some information. If he's still interested in doing that, of course, completely up to him. Whatever we can do. At the same time, we don't know what's gonna happen next, but all we can do is move forward as per usual. All right, guys, I gotta head out. Say bye, Mama. Do you wanna say bye? Do you have something to say? You want to say bye? Baby bunny is now shy. Are you shy, Mama? All right, guys, have a great rest of your day.